Look right here. Here is my mother. Here is my brother. Right? Verse 50, it says, for whosoever shall do the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. So if you're not in this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to know what the will of the Father is, then you remain in the congregation of the dead. Then we count you as a heathen. We count you as a Gentile. And truth be told, at one point, we all were Gentiles. Okay? We all were Gentile-minded. Okay? But that breath came into us at the appointed time. Okay? And certain men and women woke up to their nationality and who they are and what's expected of them. Okay? It says, for whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and my sister and my mother. So if you're not doing the will of my Father, then you're not my brother and my sister and my mother. You're a heathen. And right at this point, we don't have nothing to do with you at this point. This is 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians chapter 6. Verse 14, it says, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? All right. It tells you, do not be unequally yoked with together with unbelievers, those who don't have the same wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and faith that you have. You don't deal with them like that. All right, you pass by, hey, what's going on? All right, you at work, you deal with them, get your paycheck, get on up out of there. It ain't something where you just always kicking it with these Gentile-minded people. Okay. Because it says, for what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? All right. You don't have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the truth and believe it. That's unrighteousness. All right. And what do you have to fellowship with someone like that? Okay. Now, you do try your best to break bread and teach them. All right. But once you see that, all right, they ain't getting it, then you push on, carry on, all right? Because at one point, like I say, we all didn't know, all right? But it took a man of the Lord, all right, to speak his words, to, tap something up there, to be like, oh, I remember, yeah, that's true. And then you going through, oh, yeah, and you can see it, and the Most High is giving you the increase because he's dealing with you, all right? But other than that, we didn't deal with those who didn't believe and have this understanding. We didn't deal with them. Okay. This is Ephesians 5:11. It says, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. All right. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness. That's why the disciples, they didn't deal with these Israelites who either didn't know that they was Israelites or knew, but just was doing whatever they wanted to do, speaking these other languages and not having belief and faith and not following the customs and following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. Okay, and didn't have belief in Yahweh Shai, so on and so forth. All right, we would have no fellowship with them. We will reprove them. All right, but we didn't deal with them. Okay, and so I'm gonna end it there. But I think I'm gonna on the next episode, I'm gonna pick it back up, Lord willing, with that scripture. Okay, to let you know, hey, like Peter and John and the rest of the disciples, they didn't deal with Israelites who didn't have the understanding. They didn't deal with Israelites who didn't know that they were Israelites. They didn't deal with Israelites who didn't have the same faith, all right, and belief. They didn't deal with them because they counted them heathens. They counted them Gentiles, all right? Not that they were natural Gentiles, but we treated them both the same. We just didn't deal with them at all. So, Lord willing, the next episode I get into, I'm gonna, hit some of, what happened with Peter and Cornelius, and then who Paul was going to teach, those Gentiles who he was going to teach. All right, definitely 100% was Israelites whose bloodline went back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because this word is exclusively for Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, now when we get into the kingdom and we pay back these other nations everything they've done to us, then they'll have to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments as well, which is a beautiful thing. All right, it's the best way to live on this earth here. Okay, it's the most healthy, most beneficial, most fun way to live on this earth. So that's why when we are in authority, all right, putting down the law of the Most High God, then the people will rejoice. Everybody will rejoice, because the righteous rulers, the righteous judges, the wisest people in existence are running the earth. Okay, are in rulership. Okay, and so everybody is going to rejoice. All right, but we must pay them back everything they done to us, and that's also in the scriptures as well. But that's another lesson. So like I said, two types of Gentiles: the natural Gentiles, which are other nations whose bloodline doesn't go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, and then you have the other set of Gentiles who are Gentile minded, because they're doing the things of these other nations and the practicing their customs and philosophies and beliefs and so forth and so on. Okay, now some of those Gentile minded Israelites, those Israelite foreigners, are gonna come back into the understanding of who they are and get right with the Most High and have salvation. Those other ones that were blinded, that's blinded until the end, they're gonna get the judgment of these other nations. Okay, and then they'll be rebirthed back into the kingdom. But you don't want to downplay that judgment. That judgment is going to be something, nothing nice, very fierce and agonizing pain. Like I always say, weeping, or like the scriptures say, weeping and gnashing of teeth, burning. Okay, you don't want to downplay that. So that's all I got for you right now. Lord willing, I pick it back up with that Ephesians 5 and 11, and then continue in the spirit. Hopefully this was edifying. Two types of Gentiles. All right. The only ones that Yahweh Shai came for and is coming back for, who Paul was the apostle to, those people's bloodline went back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, making them Hebrew Israelites, whether they were in a Gentile state of mind or whatever the case may be. All right. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to you, Akim, pushing this word in truth and sincerity. And with that, I'm going to say Shalom. Abba, Babal.